Thanks very much. Welcome inside Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the matchup between the Oilers and the Predators. Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the matchup between the Oilers and the Predators. Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get set for the matchup between the Oilers and the Predators. But first, let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's always 20 minutes fresh. Kevin Dubnyk beat Nashville twice last year. Both wins here in Nashville. This will be his 20th start of the season. And at the other end, 30-year-old Pecorine gave up 5 goals on 13 shots Monday in L.A. He got the hook halfway through the third in a 5-1 loss to the Kings. That was the third straight loss for the Nashville Predators. They have been outscored 12-3 in those 3 games. Of course, the Oilers come in. They're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They lost last night in Detroit by the score of 3-0. The first time that they have been shut out this season. And we are underway. Ryan Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, and Taylor Hall reunited on that top line for the Edmonton Oilers. And they get the start tonight. As that puck goes up into the mesh. Get a chance to take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. Louis, we know one thing, Ales Hemsky is not in the lineup.
Yeah, Ales Hemsky out tonight with that foot injury that he suffered in Detroit last night. Corey Potter will also be a healthy scratch tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben Eager step back in there and Theo Beckham on the blue line for them. So a couple of changes to get things going here. Ryan Smith will play the center position on the fourth line between, we think, Eager and Brown.
Yakupov and Gagne, Magnus Piyarvi out there now. And there he is, Theo Peckham with a flu bug. Sickness got him and kept him out of the lineup for the last couple of games. Start tonight. Got another Isaac call. And the Oilers went the bench. Into the bench.
Some injuries and a little early season malaise. He is experimenting with some combos and looking for better team play overall in a full 60-minute effort. And they've had spurts within their games so far this season where they've looked like the team that went to the 7th game of the Stanley Cup final, but other times they've looked uninvolved.
His only line going right now is
Stanley Cup final games so far this season where they've looked like the team that went to the 7th
Detroit
game of the
last night.
Stanley Cup
Corey
final, but
Potter
other
will
times
also be
they've
a healthy
looked
scratch
uninvolved.
tonight for the Oilers, and you'll see Ben
and he's got the blender going already.
He played it
5 games in a row. Right back in by Patrick Hornquist. He is checked by Peckham. Up the middle, here comes Piyarvi. Piyarvi with 4 goals on the season. Piyarvi's got 2 goals in his last 3 games. Pass intended to him, and that was picked off before he could get there by Kevin Klein. And there is Victor Bartley playing his first NHL game, number 64 for the Nashville Predators. Played 54 games with Milwaukee, picked up 26 points. He's in the lineup, and he's a nervous guy this afternoon.
Yeah, was he ever? And you know what? The thing is, too, playing against his old teammate Jordan Eberle, played a season and a half with him in Regina in the WHL. But an interesting story a couple of years ago, tore his tricep muscle in one of his first games up in the American Hockey League with Binghamton and missed the whole year, couldn't find a job a couple of years ago, and had to play over in Sweden for a year. So a real nice story to see him get back into the North American game and get his first National Hockey League game.
Pressure now by the Nashville Predators, turned aside, and here comes Eric Belanger. Belanger turns in his own zone, changes for both teams as Belanger, the veteran, stays cool, and now he'll head to the bench. Ryan Smith, as you mentioned, up there with Brown and Eager, and a shout-out for Ben Eager. Louis, his 400th NHL game.
Yeah, congrats to him. You know what? It's not an easy task to do, especially a big physical guy up and down, won a Stanley Cup with Chicago and playing in his 400th game. So always a milestone with the players to get to that 400.
Here's an opportunity right in front. And Martin Erat was denied. Nick Schultz, a veteran move to prevent that perfect scoring opportunity. Erat with the puck now. Erat played his junior, which seems a long time ago, as a member of the Red Deer Rebels.
Yeah, good chance there by him.
Ellis moving in. Ellis with a feed right in front with Smith. Kicked out. For the Nashville Predators, the Oilers outshot 28-22 last night in Detroit. They are 1-1-1 in the second half of back-to-back games so far this year. They'll have another set of back-to-back games March 25th right here in Nashville, and then they'll be into St. Louis on March 26th. Weber moving in. Gosnett shot, and that one ripped wide and goes all the way back down into Nashville territory. A Nashville Predator team that is 4th in the Central, 11th in the West. They've got 23 points. The Oilers have 21 points.
Yeah, the team Kevin has had 3 days off. They haven't played since that game Monday in Los Angeles, so a few days to kind of get some meetings in, get some practices in. This is a team that has only won 1 game in their last 6, so you know they're going to come out here early in this game and be fired up and try and get pucks and bodies to Devin Dubnyk.
Gagne works his way in, trying to center it. Katerina was way out of the net. Quickly back the other way. Hornqvist. Passes it in, and Devin Dubnyk had a little trouble with it, so he's not going to take a chance, and he covers it up, and Ladislav Smid doesn't want anybody around his goaltender, including Patrick Hornqvist.
Yeah, the top sniper. We talked about Hornqvist in the opening there and how he's a feisty guy. As Ladislav Smid takes a little exception to him going in there, giving Dubnyk a little bit of a poke. He likes to get aggressive. Here's that chance by Urat. Just a misplayed puck in the defensive zone by Edmonton. Looks like he's going to the backhand. Maybe gets a little hooked up by Schultz. But he fumbles it over top of the stick, and here's the dump in here that Dubnyk can't really get a handle on. And for Hornqvist, just, didn't really poke him too much. They're a little sensitive down there on the ice. But losing 4 games in a row, as the Oilers have done, will make you a little testy on the ice. So I expect a little bit of fireworks like that in this game tonight, because both teams are trying to get off slides. They're trying to get a big win. As you mentioned, only 2 points separate both teams, and they both desperately need those points.
Smith behind the net, along with Bobby Butler, picked up on waivers. He and Zach Boychuk, a couple of waiver pickups in the month of March.
Yeah, interesting, very cautious noise. It's up to them to show us what they have. This is an opportunity.
Smith with a chance, stopped by Devin Dubnyk. Ryan Jones, the former Nashville Predator. Leonard Petrell, as Louis mentioned, back in the lineup. Petrell did not dress the last 2 games. He is on the line with Jones and Belanger, and he has the puck right now. Leonard Petrell from the corner. Petrell cycles down low for Jones. Belanger in there to try and help out. Nick Schultz steps up and keeps that puck in. Trying to take advantage of the youngster. But back comes the Nashville Predators, and there is Butler. He gets knocked down by Schultz. And a penalty coming up. The first power play of the game is going to go to the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It is built Ford tough.
Well, Kevin, for the Edmonton Oilers, talked about patience with Ralph Kruger this morning. He's talked about a lot this year, just staying in your structure, staying in your discipline, staying in your defensive zone coverage, get the offensive opportunities when you can attack. That'll be important tonight. And for the Predators, shoot, as you mentioned, the last place team in the National Hockey League played shots on net this year. They've had 3 days off. It's been a topic of discussion in practice and meetings and in the dressing room. They want to fire more practice going on.
Games. This team is ranked 26th overall when it comes to power play. The Oilers, of course, very good special teams. 6th ranked penalty killer. Jay Weber, dangerous on the point. Naturally, he'll be out there to start it, and he's got the puck right. Kicks that puck in, Hornqvist sends it around the boards. Colin Wilson, leader in assists and points, along with Mike Fisher. Trying to keep it in. Was Kosticin, an opportunity now for Jones. Breaking in, short-handed. Jones stopped by Redding. The first shot of the game on Pecorine is a breakaway. The Oilers with 3 short-handed goals this season. Taking advantage of the forward at the point, Sergei Kosticin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Unable to capitalize on it and put it home, though, was Yossi. Yossi has the puck right now. Center out. Fisher makes it. Fisher. Sergei Kosticin. Wilson with it now. Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Advantage of the Wilson will get it to Fisher. Fisher finds the center. Around with comes out with left hand. And now going with upper. Well, a couple of the gloves are off. Here in Nashville.
Here in Game 5.
Right after this.
The series lead of 3 games to 1.
Here in Nashville.
Here in Nashville.
Right after this.
Well, a couple of Edmontonians, Dr. Wang, yeah, that's his name, and Cooper, enjoying themselves here in Nashville. And Oiler fans, you get a chance to enjoy yourself as you have an opportunity to decide which minor hockey teams get the chance to train like the pros with the 4 Drills and Skills contest. Go to 4drillsandskills.ca to see which teams made it through to the final round and cast your vote for the winners. Voting closes March 30th.
Well, Kevin, a little fireworks there to start things off on the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see Brown and Boone square off, and both of these guys throw the rapid punches early on. Both of them get their shots in. And the third time that these two have fought each other in their career. The first 2 fights were down in the American Hockey League. In back-to-back games, they fought in each of those games. So they know each other very well.
And Brown has now fought 7 times. He came into this game second in the league in penalty minutes. He is times. He came into this game gets the puck out to center. David Legwand. Louis, you talk about a guy in the face of the franchise. He was the franchise when this thing started here in Nashville. That is NHL hockey.
Yeah, the first ever draft pick by the Nashville Predators, picked 2nd overall in 1990.
Chris White in his kitchen.
Nashville's done a pretty good job here in this game so far. A little transitioning quickly. When pucks turn over in the neutral zone, they get on the offense very quickly, driving through the net. Good shot from the wide angle, looking for a rebound. But Devin Dubin snatches that up and says, I don't think so. And that'll be important tonight for Dubin to not allow those pucks to drop down in front of him, because Nashville's going to have that presence in front. It was something they talked about all week long, and they weren't happy about it this morning in the dressing room, the way they've been playing.
Ryan Ellis would have had the Oilers of this period for the Nashville Predators. So what do you think they were working on in practice?
Season.
Absolutely.
In the first round of the Oilers.
Boychuk stopped.
The Nashville Predators.
And here is Jones had that one chance. The one shot the Oilers have so far is a breakaway opportunity, shorthanded, stopped by Pecorino. Rene faced just 13 shots in that loss against Los Angeles. And Eager on now against Ryan Ellis. Ryan Smith, Ryan Jones out there. Eager's got the puck by the center. It comes to Jones. He tried to get that puck to settle down. Now all kinds of traffic in front of Pecorino.
This is the legendary stubby pencil, one of many used to win a total of $7 million last year. Amazing.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Kevin, as you mentioned, Ryan Jones had a breakthrough a little earlier on, has another good chance here, but gets kind of bowling ball through as he tries to get that bouncing puck to the net. Good job by Eager and Smith on the forecheck. One body contact, separate puck, get it to the net. Everybody converges, and that's the type of hockey you like to see.
And that's got to be the type of hockey from that line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have to have that gritty effort, and Pharrell Kruger this morning talked about a high compete level, and especially the attention to detail. Get pucks in deep, establish a forecheck. Not so far they haven't been able to, as Nashville's come out really aggressive here. But that's how you wear down teams.
8 shots for Nashville, just 1 for the Oilers so far. We've got 11:41 to go in this first period. Race for the puck. Sergei Kostitsyn against Justin Schultz. The puck's still free, and it's picked up by Gagne. Gagne to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov, opposite corner. He's got Tiarvi streaking in against Weber. Played it in front. Yakupov picks it up in the far corner. Plays it all the way back to the point. Schmid was outside the blue line, and the Oilers will have to reset. They'll get a line change in. Schmid for the pass that went off Jordan Eberle. Eberle gets it back in, and here comes Hall. Hall streaking in, fires a shot, and that one goes wide. In behind the net, Schmid on the far side. Tipped it up in the air. And the Oilers get it again. And look at this pass. Nugent Hopkins moving in. Leaves it for Hall. Hall trying to make a nice move around Weber. And Weber took it away at the last second. Right back in. Walker saved for Devin Dubnyk. Now Gabriel Bourque. Wilson trying to get it in front. That was knocked down by Nugent Hopkins. Gabriel Bourque leads this team in goals. He's got 6 so far.
Yeah, real interesting story. Came in last year, played his first games up with the Nashville Predators, carried it right over into this season, signed a new extension deal, and was pretty happy about it.
Out in front, and Whitney almost tipped that one home as Nugent Hopkins got tied up with Shea Weber in behind the net, lost his lid, and left his stick there. And that's the kind of thing that Nugent Hopkins has been seeing all year. The best defenders in the league trying to shut down Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Martin Erat moving in. Here is Butler. Toe drag. Nothing doing. Off the handle, off the end of the stick for Petrell. Ellis brings it right back in. Shot by Erat, tipped up off the glass and down, and shot down the ice, but not out. Ellis fired it. There is Schultz with a block shot. Oilers trying to get it out. Ryan Jones on the near side. Cross-ice feed for Erat, and that was Petrell who picked it off, got it to Belanger, and Belanger sent that puck the rest of the way. And the Oilers want to get a change. 9 shots for the Predators. As Louis mentioned, the lowest shot total on average in the National Hockey League, just 23.9 coming into this game. But Lou, I didn't do so well in math, but they got 27 right now if they keep this up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they obviously took the message from Barry Trotz and the coaching staff over the last 3 days. They worked on it, and Shea Weber mentioned it this morning, and that's a guy you don't have to tell to shoot the puck. He loves to get pucks to the net, but as a team, as a whole, they're trying to just force that issue and get the pucks into that danger zone, bodies crashing. That's a Barry Trotz team. You know, get pucks to the net, get bodies there, banging the goal, much like you saw Hornqvist do early on in this game, from 1 foot away from the goal net. So, I mean, that's the type of hockey they want to play, and they just got away from it. They hadn't been doing it.
That puck knocked down with a high stick. Tell us Oilers hockey, and it's right here on Sportsnet.
Well, as Kevin and Louis spoke of a little earlier, Theo Peckham missed the last game because of illness, and it started the night before the Columbus game. He went out for dinner with a friend, and he went out for sushi. Now, he had the yellowtail sushi, which is more raw than he normally eats when it comes to that. What he likes to generally have is the California rolls. He believes that it was that made him sick, because ever since he's been ill, he's been fishing for answers.
I think it'll be a while before he has sushi again, at least the yellowtail. Ugh. But he's out there now with Ryan Whitney. 8:38 to go in this first period. 1 goal in the game, a power play marker for the Predators at 6:07. An opportunity right now, and that one deflected just wide. Klein trying to keep it in against Peckham, gets it to Wilson. Wilson battling Legwand, ends up with David Legwand. Gives it to Klein, Kevin Klein. Did not get the shot. Legwand in there to help out. The puck's still alive along the near side. Now it squirts free. And Nail Yakupov starts away. Yakupov stops, looking for Magnus Bjärvi just out of his reach. Bounced down the ice by Wilson. And Justin Schultz is going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be ice.
Look, Kevin, you have to be sharp in the defensive zone. You can't give pucks away. Here for Gagne, just tries to get this pass up the wall through 2 Nashville Predator players. Not a real high percentage play, especially from behind your own net. That pass goes wide. Gagne looked down at his stick afterwards, didn't get all the graphite, I guess, on it that he wanted to, but the better decision might have been just to put it around the boards for that way instead of trying to go through 2 bodies. And those are the types of plays that can really cost you and deflate you as a team, so something you have to dial in the defensive zone.
Nugent Hopkins wins the draw. Nick Schultz got a shot right away. He's got the puck again, throws it towards the net. This time a wrist shot. It doesn't make it through, and it's bounced out by Klein. Top line on the ice for the Oilers with 7.5 minutes to go in this first period. The shots are 9-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Hall gets by Klein. Hall moving in. A wrist shot. Pad save. Big rebound. And it's picked up by David Legwand. Bourque. Wrist shot. Blocker save. Weber pitches in. The puck comes right off the referee and comes right out in front. Leonard Petrell bounces it off the boards and gets it out. That could have been dangerous. Speaking of dangerous. Yeah, however, off his skate, Petrell is there, so is Schmid. Petrie. The pass intended for Ryan Jones, but Jones was turning the wrong way. Centered out. That goes right through the crease. Back to the point. Ellis with it now. Ellis turns, fires a blast, and Devin Dubnyk. He had Gosted providing the screen. Hangs on to it.
What do you think I do for a living?
You're a librarian. You tell people to shh.
I'm the assistant curator of the college's printed materials archive. And I make the coffee.
So you're a wannabe librarian?
Couch City's new comedy, Seed, part of Monday's blockbuster comedy night, the #1 most watched night of the week.
Nashville Predators.
The Edmonton Oilers will play Game 6
Saturday
in Edmonton,
And
if
Ryan
necessary.
Suter's first game back here in the Music City.
2:13.
You mean tomorrow?
What did I say? Saturday?
It's Saturday. But it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been a long trip. I'm telling you what.
Well, so I was right. Technically, tomorrow is Saturday.
You're right.
And he is in the building just like Elvis.
Probably is here, but yeah, it would be a nice homecoming for him coming back here, and obviously a place that was special to him. It was a big offseason move to see him go to Minnesota along with Zach Parise, two big free agent market players that were out there available, two of them anyway. But we were talking with the Nashville Predators this morning, and some of the players, obviously a big loss not having Suter here. But there's been a lot of guys that have stepped in there and really filled in those spots nicely and eaten up a few more minutes in the back end.
And using the waiver wire, we've talked about a couple of those players, and that's one way to get players in, get them out, see if they can do the job.
Why not? Take a flyer, right? You look at Boychuk, a former first-round pick, bring him in here, see if he can maybe kickstart his career and get things going. Hasn't really been able to do it at the National Hockey League level, but in the American Hockey League has been a real good player and was playing very well this year to start things off. So maybe he comes in here and gets fired up. And as you mentioned before, also Bobby Butler. So a couple opportunities for guys to step in. A team that hasn't played well, you come in and play well, you'll be in the lineup at Barry Trotz.
Waits for the puck, and Klein gets there first and gets the icing. So after that game, which is both tomorrow and Saturday, Nashville's going to head out on a 5-game road trip. And critical time. The Oilers, of course, the road trip will continue. You can see what's happening with the guys picking up the slack. The big one, Louis, has got to be Roman Josi.
Yeah, no question about it. And obviously playing with Shea Weber, as a D partner. He says he's not trying to replace Ryan Suter. He says, I'm going out there just trying to play the best that I can. You can see all those minutes that are going up. Scott Hannon, a veteran presence that was brought in here as well to kind of buffer that.
Weber's shot is blocked by PRB, sends it down the ice. The Oilers making a change, and Yakupov is basically on his own trying to keep that puck in. Flipped in by Ford. Picked up by Petrie. Road trip for Jeff Petrie. All 5 of his points this season have come on this trip. Legwand with a backhand that misses.
His first fighting major as well. So I saw him give Gostad a little shot there, who didn't like the way that he took him into the board, so he gives him a cross check.
Here's a 2-on-1. Jordan Eberle moving in. And he was checked by Weber. And Weber tried to get his hand on it. If he'd done that, it would have been a penalty. Old habits dying hard here for the veterans.
I don't know how he missed it. It looked like he got a piece of the puck, but I guess he didn't. And from up here, I thought maybe he had touched the puck with his hand. But you're allowed to bump it with your hand. You just can't put your hand over top of it. But you're right. That was a reaction by Weber.
We have seen that a few times. Scott Hannon keeps it in. Scott Hannon wearing number 22. There was a guy playing with Detroit we saw last night that made 22 famous in this town for a long time.
Pretty spirited fight with Mike Brown, too. Jordan Tutu. That was some high octane there. Mike Brown's first fight gets in his second one here in his 3rd game with the Oilers. So that's why he was brought in here, to be that physical presence and every once in a while drop the gloves and get going. And he's shown that he's doing just that.
Kostat. Long lead pass for Ellis. Too far for him. That's going to be icing.
Well, a good rush here and one of the transitional plays for Edmonton. We haven't seen a whole lot of it here. One breakaway by Ryan Jones on the penalty kill, but here a 2-on-1 develops. And for Eberle, he just tries to get this through the skates of Shea Weber. And in that stopping process, watch him slam on the brakes here. He kind of gets a piece of it. And then right there, he knows that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is coming in as part of, I think it was Wilson's stick that came in and moved that out of the way of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and I think prevented Shea Weber from taking a 2-minute penalty. Because he would have grabbed that puck. You know, when you're in that situation, I guess you're saying, hey, I'll take my chances on the power play or the penalty kill as opposed to a player getting a real high-quality chance. And maybe it was on purpose.
Well, the Oilers did not get a power play in that game in Detroit last night.
I could never process the game that fast. That was on purpose.
Back to the point. Here is Peckham's shot and all kinds of traffic. And look at Ryan Smith. He was actually in behind Pecorine.
I think he went right over top of him. Wow. Smith gave him a cross-check, and he just kind of stumbled over top of Rene. But that's when you know you have a good presence in front when you're making contact with a goaltender like that.
That big goaltender, too. Both guys 6'5". In this game tonight is Gagne across the blue line. Gagne blocked by Shea Weber. Justin Schultz able to keep it in. Just over 3 minutes left to go in this first period.
Did Shea Weber ever go off the ice?
He is on a ton, averaging 25-54. He is 8th in the league in ice time. Here is Magnus Pärvi across the line. Pärvi stops, fires a wrist shot. Pecorine steers that aside, kept in at the blue line, temporarily at least, by Schultz. And now Nick Schultz going to go back and get it. No icing on the play. Gagne, tip pass for Yakupov. He gives it right back to Pärvi. Pärvi chips and chases himself. Pecorine has to go out and play it, and does.
Just in the nick of time, he had to wait for that puck to get out of that zone. He can't play the puck, and Pärvi with his speed, I think, got a piece of it. So good job by him to hustle in there, and an icing here by Nashville. So for Pärvi, he's had a couple real good games in a row, scored 2 goals in succession. Obviously pointless last night in that 3-0 loss to Detroit. But for him on that second line, it's the way that he has to play. And he plays his best when he's moving his feet and skating. He has world-class speed. When he uses it, he's effective, and he's been using it lately.
This is his 8th career game against the Nashville Predators, and he is looking for his first point against the Preds. The Oilers were 3-1 last year, including his sit off the top 2. The Oilers were 3-1 last year, including his sit off the top 2-0 here in Nashville. They are 1-3-2 against Central Division teams. They'll play another pretty good Central Division team on Sunday, back into Chicago, where this road trip all began. We'll have that game for you on Sportsnet. 2 minutes left to go in this first period. Paul gets caught up. Here is Bork. Keeping it in, throws it for the net, goes wide. Legwand's got it. Legwand gets it to Bork. Could not get the shot. Paul was back defensively. Now Nugent-Hopkins. He'll chip it in. Go after it against Hannon. Puck squirts free. And the Nashville Predators able to get it out to center. Theo Peckham has it caught up in his skates. And he took it away from both Bork and Wilson. Belanger keeps it in. Belanger, sharp angle shot. He had Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line. He had Petrell right in front. With his skates. Took it away from both Bork and Wilson. Out to center. Theo Peckham has it caught with his skates. Took it away from both Bork and Wilson. Belanger keeps it in. Belanger, sharp angle shot. He had Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger keeps it in. Belanger, sharp angle shot. He had Petrell right in front. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line. Jones with it now. Jones down low. Belanger centers it for Petrell. That slides wide. Good couple of scoring chances for that line. And she's not going to be sponsors in the building. Gostad's shot is blocked. We're down to 35 seconds. Off on a line change. Last 8 games. Louis, you see a lot of those in spring training, the bad hop. A shortstop will get an error, a goalie gets a goal. Yakupov. Oilers want to get out of this period and will. Being outshot 13-8, and they're down. And they're 2-0.
Remains scoreless.
That's the story here so far in the Music City. Will being outshot 13-8, and the game is scoreless. 2-0. That's the story here so far in the Music City. All the notes for the Oilers right now. Pretty sour.
Well said, Kevin Quinn and Neil Smith. Back. It's Oilers hockey.
That might need some help here. There's the story. Up to you guys.
All right, Gene, the big goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers is on the bench, and Jun11, for the second time this season, has come on in relief. Denis' last appearance was January the 22nd when he came in against the San Jose Sharks, stopped all 14 shots he faced. Devin Dubnyk gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in that first period. The last one that bouncing puck from David Legwand.
Game 4.
And at the other end, Louis Pecorine knows exactly how he feels because he gave up 5 goals on 13 shots in L.A.
Yeah, you know, for Devin Dubnyk, obviously he's played 5 straight, as Gene was talking about, his back-to-back game, and just a little mental lapse there. And he's logged a lot of minutes for Edmonton this year. Get Jun11 in there, maybe spark the team. I don't mind this move by Ralph Kruger right now, down 2-0. You've got 40 minutes to play. The last time this guy stepped between the pipes, as you mentioned, back against the San Jose Sharks on January 22nd, he did not give up a goal, and his team scored 3 in front of him.
Gustad tries to test him with a wraparound. Gustad calling for the puck when he comes in front. Loon gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gustad again. Weber in front as well. Gustad calling for the puck when he comes in front. Loon gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gustad again. Weber in front as well. And then comes in front. Loon gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gustad again. Weber in front as well. And then he comes in front. Loon gave it to Gustafsson. Here's Gustad again. And the Predators have a 3-0 lead. 51 seconds into this second period. Pass didn't work, and Petrie will go back to get it, and we'll get an icing call. Denis down in OKC, 16-13-3. The 31-year-old in his 52nd NHL game. He was 16-21-4 so far in his National Hockey League career, and as you mentioned, Louis, he didn't relief stuff every shot, so it's the first goal he has given up this season in a relief role.
Yeah, a tough one. Well, obviously the first or second shot rather for that because it was on the rebound off of Queen's first opportunity to drive into the net and get scored on. But you know what? For Jun11, he's been around. He's a journeyman. He's been a backup goaltender before in the National Hockey League. Spent time in the American Hockey League on multiple teams. So he knows how to dial it in, and I'm sure we'll regroup after that one. And the team in front of him, too, as well. A little bit of a defensive zone collapse there by them. Led to that goal. Good cycle by Nashville. But for Edmonton, he's having a real difficult time, as we've seen in the last 2 games, getting pucks into the offensive zone and establishing that downhill play themselves.
One more Predators goal. Your game is let's go upstairs to the team. The Predators score 4 goals. Take your tickets or participate.
Well, a reminder that TELUS Flames hockey is coming up next. Calgary will most certainly pay close attention to the newest multi-millionaire in the Anaheim lineup. That is Brian Kessler.
The Canucks.
Yep, $8 million for 8 years. And you're talking about the face of the franchise in terms of Shea Weber, who is now definitely the face of the franchise of the Anaheim
Title series. Otherwise, the Eastern final.
And a terrific season so far for Anaheim with 35 points. They sit second in the Western Conference and second overall in the National Hockey League. So a real good, strong start by them in this shortened season.
Van Eager going after that puck against Eager. One-hands that puck looking for Brown. Brown gets spun around. Ryan Smith, Mike Brown, and Ben Eager on the ice right now as it is chipped in at the end of the shift. Line number 19. Bringing it in is Everly. Everly, hook drag shot, and that one gets deflected up.
It's deflected.
Up Pekka Rinne and up into the netting.
And the Predators still
Is a replica of the remote that inspired the big...
Into the netting.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Pools.
That was Richard Clune once
Edmonton
again
Oilers
takes a
are big
big run.
scoreless
Jordan
in
Everly
game
goes into the boards for Theo Peckham, who was out there. He
Game
didn't see
4
the
of the
original
first round
hit, but I think
Stanley Cup
someone said something to him along the
against the
bench.
Blue Jackets.
And it wasn't the fact that he hits Everly. It's 3-0. Takes him right on one of your top players, so Peckham goes over and gives him a little bump on the way back to the bench. Tries to get him engaged. Already one scrap tonight for Clune, who coming into the season only played 14 games back with the Los Angeles Kings a few years ago, so a real nice start to the season for him. He's grinded his way to a National Hockey League spot and wants to stay.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back to get it. Theo Peckham, another hit. And getting up slowly is Hornqvist, and Hornqvist is hurt. Hornqvist making his way to the bench, as you said, clutching his shoulder after the hit by Theo Peckham.
Also, Theo Peckham, he says, you're going to take a run at one of our top guys, I'll take a run at one of your top guys, and he has Hornqvist hard.
Nugent-Hopkins fires that puck just wide. Quickly back the other way, Colin Wilson, across the blue line. Left it there, and a pass intended for Wojciech didn't work. Hall takes the look. He has some time. Well, Rich Clune and Theo Peckham came together before, Louis. I think they might have to come together again.
We'll see. I think there's going to be a little more rough stuff out here. Obviously, Edmonton's starting to find their legs here in the last couple of minutes.
Gagne cutting for the net, backhand, stopped by Pekka Rinne. Trying to jam it home. As Sam Gagne, the leading point getter in this team, has 21 points on the season. Ork getting leg one. In behind the net, bouncing puck. Petrie sends it around the boards. Leg one. Lays it back to the point, but Nail Yakupov was there. His outlet pass. Well, BRB too far, and it's shot right back in by Klein. Quick up, tipped in by Gagne. Rinne pokes it to the corner, has to scramble back into the net. Magnus BRB with it now. He gets surrounded on the boards. And here comes Erat. Erat shot. That one goes wide. Shot that there by Bobby Butler. Smith trying to get around Nick Schultz. Can't do it. Ellis' shot gets deflected, and that goes up into the netting. And not the stick right out of the hands of Eric Belanger.
Good job by him to get it there to deflect that shot by Ellis over the glass. Here's the hit by Peckham here as he just kind of rides Hornqvist into the boards afterwards. He stays with him, kind of gives him a little bit of a shove afterwards into the boards. It was the angle that Hornqvist was in when he went into the boards. And we've seen that happen a lot. This year especially, we saw Patrick Sharp suffer injury like that a couple of games ago for Chicago. He's going to miss some time, and here's a good chance again by Gagne right after that hit, goes down the other way and gets a good backhand opportunity on Pekka Rinne with the traffic in front.
Hornqvist missed 10 games with a knee injury. He's hurt right now, but his team is not. Cannon shot up high. Gostad in the face of Jan Denis. They keep it in. Kostitsin. Circling the net is Clune. Rich Clune lays it to the corner. Picked up by Kostitsin. Gostad is in front. The puck comes to the middle for Clune. And here is Gostad right to the side of the net. Knocked over his stick. He gets it again. Tries the one-handing centering pass. And a penalty on the way. And now some more rough stuff in there. Peckham and Clune. We knew this was coming, but it's not going to last long. As Theo Peckham slips and Theo Peckham. And that's Gostad.
Western Conference Final.
Theo Peckham.
They were jostling in front the whole time. And Gostad 6'5", planning
both season.
They were jostling in front the whole time, and for Gostad 6'5", planning himself in front. For Peckham, he doesn't want to cross-check him too hard from behind, so he moves in front to try and get in front of the shot taker. And a round of applause here for Gostad after that hit on Hornqvist. The fans here know that Peckham was the guy. But Peckham very willing to drop the gloves. This is the way he has to play, and he has played this way. Physical, aggressive, and right here afterwards, there's the shot. by Gostad. They get going here. And just, unfortunately for Peckham, loses his balance and falls down early.
Gostad's a big guy. He's 6'5", 223 pounds.
And, you know, I like it when Theo Peckham plays with an edge. You know, he plays nasty. He gets in the grill of the opposition. And he's skilled enough and athletic enough to lay those big hits on good players. And he's going to have to answer the bell from time to time. But I like the other aspect of it more, you know, making it a hard night for the offensive players of the opposition, which hasn't been the case too much this year for Edmonton.
And, you know, it can't all be on Mike Brown.
No, absolutely. It's that team toughness. You want everybody to kind of chip in. You saw Sam Gagne the last shift get a good hit in on the forecheck. Everybody has to buy into that system, play a physical game, a skating game, a tight check is really making a hard night. And that's how you have that team done.
That's Peckham, for the Oilers.
Power play for the
Predators. Time the penalty.
Nashville Predators, their second power play of this game.
Nashville! Predators!
They got a goal to start this game at 6:07, and it was Hornquist who got the goal. Hornquist out of the game right now with what we believe to be a shoulder injury.
The RV in the box, 2 minutes for holding on that whole sequence that was happening in the offensive zone for Nashville. So their second power play, as you mentioned, Kevin, and a power play that has struggled as of late. Only one power play goal in the previous 6 games coming into tonight before that goal by Hornquist.
Kostitsin moves to the middle, dishes off, right in front. Banging away was Fisher. Moves to the middle, dishes off, right in front. Banging away was Fisher. What a save! By Pecorini, taking the scoreless tie here in the West Final.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
And once again, that heavy presence in front. This time it's Mike Fisher just plants himself in front of Denis. And it was a little wrister by Wilson through traffic. It wasn't a real hard shot. It was just on target, on the stick of Fisher, directs it into Jun11, and then everybody converges in. And he's able to cover it up.
Nashville came into this game 29th in power play goals. They had just 10. They have 11 now. 8 of them have been scored at home. Fisher dropped it back for Weber. He was covered. An opportunity for Petrell, and he'll send it the length of the ice. The Oilers 6th in penalty killing in the league, 6th on the road. 49 seconds left to go on the penalty to Magnus Bjarvi. Martin Erat across the blue line, dishes off. Craig Smith back to the point it comes. Erat to Smith. Smith back up top. Kostitsin waiting for it. Got it. Throws a wrist shot towards the net. Nick Schultz blocked it. He got it to Ryan Smith, and Ryan Smith got it out to center. Craig Smith can't gain the line. Roman Josi turned back. He'll give it to Weber. Fired in by Erat. Waiting for it is Bork. He'll let it go for Josi, but Josi was checked by Jones. Jones moving in shorthanded. Second opportunity shorthanded for Jones. What an effort. Pecorini took a look behind him and made the save. And Ryan Jones, a couple of chances. The best one shorthanded. He wants a penalty.
Absolutely. You know, it was a little bit of an elbow shiver here by Weber as a nice toe drag here by Ryan Jones. Right there, just walks around the big man and tries to go 5-hole once again. And right there, that reach out of the hand, the right hand that kind of reaches back. Now, it wasn't a whole lot, but enough to kind of knock Jones a little bit off. There's been 4 straight penalties now. The Oilers haven't drawn a penalty. Ralph Krueger talked about that this morning. If you want to draw penalties, you have to be fast. You have to create those opportunities. Jones with a good one there. Could have drawn a penalty and gets a real good scoring chance.
Penalty is over. And quickly back the other way comes Everly. Everly got Petrie with him. Everly, centering pass. Nugent Hopkins walks in, fires a shot. Pecorini makes the save. Everly behind the net. To Hall. Hall trying to put it out in front. It does. It comes back to the point. But pinching in was Schmid. Petrie picks it up back into his own zone. Quickly up for Everly. Everly trying to get it to Hall, but Taylor Hall was offside. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, an opportunity right here. Pecorine, big guy, makes the save.
Stanley Cup Western Conference Final.
It's time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia, presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to $3,000 or tickets to
the Stanley Cup Final.
to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. Which Oilers number is not retired in the rafters? Is it number 11, number 7? Which Oilers number is not retired in the rafters? Is it number 11, number 17, Oilers number 33, or number 99? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
3-0 to score here with 11:22 to go in the second period. Jan Denis on in relief of Devin Dubnyk.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Rich Bloom scored 51 seconds into the second period, and that has been the only scoring so far. Shots favor the Predators, but not by much. 17-13.
Yeah, and obviously an area that Edmonton wants to pick up here, and they've started to get a few more chances off the rush here and open up a little bit and attack Nashville. And down 3-0, a goaltending change. Jan Denis stepped in for Devin Dubnyk. You know, they're going to try and open it up a little bit here, but not too much. You can't afford to give up that next one. You're down by 3. Stay composed, but when you do get an opportunity, attack aggressively.
Ryan Whitney and Justin Schultz paired together on the blue line right now. Sam Gagne goes back to pick it up. Magnus Bjarvi and Yakupov are his line mates. Ellis. Now icing. Nick Schultz will get it around to Justin Schultz. They'll send it around the boards. Yakupov picks it up there, trying to flick it out. Doesn't get out. Colin Wilson picks it off. Drops it back to Weber. Not in a great position to shoot as it went off his skate. Now he'll let it go. And before he let it go, he brought that puck outside the blue line. So it's offside.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Classical Pasta Sauce.
Well, as Ladislav Schmid told us this morning, everybody has to be aware when Shea Weber's on the ice, and here you can see the one-time opportunity just crosses the line before he... Well, as Ladislav Schmid told us, just crosses the line before he tees it up. They called him the offside.
Inside the blue line. No, it's offside.
14:09 to go here in the first.
Well, Lane Vigneault with some injuries and a little early season malaise. He is experimenting with some combos and looking for better team play overall in a full 60-minute effort. And they've had spurts within their games so far this season where they've looked like the team that went to the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Final. Early season malaise. He is experimenting with some combos and looking for better team play overall in a full 60-minute effort. And they've had spurts within their games so far this season where they've looked like the team that went to the...
Boychuk gets stopped carrying on as Erat. Erat centering pass comes all the way back up top. Hall, Everly, Nugent-Hopkins. Dangers in the second period. Great chance by Nugent-Hopkins. It was steered aside by Pecorine. Covers up that one.
Great block right there by Nick Schultz, too, on the back end there on Erat's shot. He just times it for Pecorine. You know, he's a workhorse for Nashville. Big body, as you mentioned, 6'5", and a real agile 6'5", and last year was 43 wins in 73 games that he played. So just goes to show you for how big he is. He can beat up a lot of games, a lot of minutes, and when this guy's hot, he's hard to get a puck by. When this guy's hot, he's hard to get a puck by. I'll get it over.
I meant what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
3 shots in the second period. Great chance by Nugent-Hopkins.
Well, Alexander is one of the best step-up body crushers, and he showed it there on Everly. And then Ballard with everything but the cape to say ole to Darcy Hordichuk with his first shift of the game.
6'5". He was on the ice for 3 seconds and came off the ice like he was shaken up and has
a real agile 6'5" and last year
back out on the bench.
This guy's hot.
Shutouts. He's tied for first in that department, and he covers up that shot by Ben Eager. TELUS Oilers hockey from Bridgestone Arena here in Nashville.
The WHL playoffs are coming to Rexall Place starting March 22nd, and the Edmonton Oil Kings are looking to defend their Western Hockey League title. The ATB Financial Playoff Pass is available at oilkings.ca. For just $99, you can secure your seat to every Oil Kings home playoff game. Season tickets can also be renewed at oilkings.ca. Renew by March 13th for terrific incentives like $50 in Oil Kings bucks per seat and additional playoff tickets.
Ryan Smith set to take this draw against Paul Gostad. Off the scramble. Gostad able to put it out off the glass. Whitney 2012 that ahead.
2013.
And we get the whistle. Gostad third in the league in faceoffs, came in at 62.8.
Yeah, he's really good in the faceoff dot. And for Whitney, just trying to keep that puck in, didn't want to get over top of his head, but once it was touched directly by an Edmonton player, face off to the outside.
He and Theo Peckham paired together. Ryan Smith, Whitney.
Face off to the outside.
He put it out off the glass. Whitney gloved that ahead. And we get the whistle.
You got the scoreless tie. And it's icing.
It looked like he was trying to go after the puck into the head with Burrows.
Once it was touched directly by an Edmonton player, face off to the outside.
The Oilers have used that wide speed and some deep pressure.
But it's stolen and moving in. Trying to get a shot away.
He was ripped in. And he did it. He's denied. And turning the chance to make the 1-0 lead. And still the scoreless.
And that could have been dangerous.
That was my buddy Darren Pang there to hold a jump.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, for sure, he's got Canada. And after this whistle run, everybody kind of let up a little bit. And the puck came back to him. And because the crowd was so loud in here, he didn't hear the whistle. And he tees this one up. It makes it dangerous is that nobody's expecting a 100-mile-an-hour slapper to come that way. And good thing that Jan Benitez let up. He paid attention the whole time. But it's going to be Ryan Whitney going to the box 2 minutes here for taking down. Yeah, it is Ryan Whitney. I thought it might have been Peckham on the backside. Wojciech was the one on the breakaway, partial breakaway there, and because he was
Whistle.
And Oil Kings terrific.
Off the scramble. Gostad able to put it out off the glass. Coming out.
What a great save by Pecorine! Wow! Amazing!
And we get the whistle.
And some deep pressure. Put the stick where it causes the player to trip and you're going to go out.
So, Canucks were top ranked in the power play a year ago. Currently 13th in the NHL. 3 for 18.
And some deep pressure. Put the stick where it causes the player to trip and you're going to go out. Connected the puck into the
Ryan Smith, history of Rangers, leading the Edmonton Oilers.
The Oilers have been pretty hard on the course of David. Good look at that. Relative wooden stick to be utilized with. It looked like he was trying to go after the puck into the net with Burrows, and it ended up giving out. They just connect now if goes on the job. Let the puck back a little deep. The Oilers have used that wide
Down Bobby Butler.
kind of let up a little bit and come that way. Good thing because the crowd was so loud in here, he didn't hear the whistle, and he teased us one of the loudest crowd in history. And here it is. The song to come that way. The crowd think that Jan Benitez is expecting 100-mile-an-hour slap. The crowd since 20 years on the Montreal Canadiens that Jan Benitez let up. He paid attention the whole time. To come that way. 20 years later, think that Jan Benitez let up. He paid attention the whole time. Attention to that. It's going to be Ryan Whitney going to the 2 minutes here for taking down. He's playing. Yeah, this Ryan Whitney. I thought it might have been Peckham. I think Nicholas trying to play inside, but that was very perfect there for having let that one go.
Third power play for the Nashville Predators.
They are 1 for 2. They have generated 5 shots with the man advantage. The Oilers still looking for their first power play as that puck went quickly into the Predators' bench. And Kevin, for Zach Wojcik, you know, the players for Nashville that have that opportunity there, just picked up on waivers, as you've mentioned before. If Petrov wants to see something develop from him, he says it's up to the players that we picked to come up here and do something in this game. For Wojcik, that's the second penalty that he's drawn in this game for the Nashville Predators. So a good opportunity, 2 penalties drawn, pretty good start for him here in Nashville.
He's an Airdrie, Alberta guy. He fires it around the glass.
Fires
and
gets the board, got a drive. In game 5.
Directing traffic. The Predators laid it off them. And boards and ended up in the Oilers' possession. Schmid short-handed.
And playoffs.
And Gagne. 3 short-handed goals for the Oilers. An opportunity right here thrown towards the net by Schmid. That one goes wide and Weber picks it up. I think it's Ryan Jones out there. He's had 2 great chances short-handed. Fisher brings it in, drops it back. Kostitsin trying to get it back for Weber, but a good active stick there by Sam Gagne. Gagne and Petrell killing the penalties along with Schmid and Petrie. A penalty that has 47 seconds left in it. 8:20 left to go in this second period. As Martin Leary winds up.
The game is stolen
around the boards. Waiting for it there with Smith that comes back to the middle and chopped down the ice by Mike Brown. Brown. All sorts of jets there as he beat Weber to the puck and he's got possession. Great hustle by Mike Brown. And he's still got it. He'll play it back to the point. He throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Great penalty kill for the Oilers. They have dominated. And not allow the Predators to get set up at all.
Ryan Jones.
Seconds to go.
What a shot by Ryan Jones, and the crowd boos here in Nashville.
That one to put it over top of the net. He's got it again, but time is gets it in. The Oilers want to get a change. But Louis, you talk about little things to build on. You talked about patience, and that we saw on that penalty kill and some positives.
Yeah, some real positives. You mentioned Mike Brown a couple of times there, too. Obviously, one of the roles that he is going to take on coming here to Edmonton is the fact that he can put penalties as well. He's a fast guy, gets pucks in deep, he's physical, and he's strong enough to hold guys off and eat up some time. Good job by him in the offensive zone. When you're down 3-0, you don't want to give that next goal up to the Nashville Predators. There's still 7:19 left in the second period, a third period to go. You never know what's going to happen. You get that one and have that trickle-down effect where everybody starts to rally and get going. And a good, solid penalty kill there. As Mike Brown showing a few wear and tears there. It's good enough scrap with him. Those guys were chucking him earlier in the game. Does some good penalty killing there.
Well, we saw this movie last night in Detroit, down 3-0. And Louis broke down the breakdown, and here an opportunity for the Oilers again. But this time, an opportunity to stay within their structure, stay within the game plan, and as you mentioned, lots of time left.
2012.
Eberle with the puck being watched by Kevin Klein. He'll give it to Schmid, who's down low, puts it to the corner, and then knocked down by Gostad was Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers, though, able to keep it in. Paul emerges, but the puck gets away. And quickly brought back by Clune. The Boychuk, just out of a crease to me, sweeps that aside. Gets it again, centers it out in front. Long shot, and that one's tipped away. As Bartley let that one go. Bartley playing in his first National Hockey League game.
Nice confidence shown there, and as we mentioned earlier, he played a year and a half with Jordan Eberle in Regina, the WHL. And nice little offensive move there, takes the puck and drags it back, finds that open shooting lane and gets it through.
26 points in 54 games. The AHL affiliate in Milwaukee. Team with a 3-0 lead with just under 6 minutes to go in the period. Gagne from a sharp angle, hit-handed with it. He comes back to the point. Justin Schultz is there. He'll give it to Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Yakupov and get it right back again. Near side, Justin Schultz throws it towards the net. Deflected by Patrick Piardi with a shot.
Denied! Denied with a save by John Macarene!
Yakupov,
I can't believe it!
to Schultz. Nick Schultz, quick angle shot, and that one goes right through the blue paint. Kept in again by the Oilers. Back to Piardi. Gets knocked down by Scott Henry. As he plays it behind the net, the Oilers want to get a change in while keeping the puck in the Predators' zone. Leg one. Works it out to center. He wants to make something. The bench of the Predators. Tennis Oilers hockey from the conference finals in Game 5 on Sports.
With the departure of Lindy Ruff from an NHL bench, Barry Trotz is now the most tenured National Hockey League coach, and we take you back to the day that he was hired. It was a long time ago, a flashback of when the Nashville Predators hired their first ever NHL head coach. Well, he was a lot younger, David Poile, the GM then, and still the general manager. There's his hockey mugshot to tell everybody, yes, I can smile. He's not often seen doing that behind the bench, and this was opening night when he came out to celebrate his hiring as the Nashville Predators head coach. 512 wins the way he's going. It may be a while before Nashville trots out another coach to replace.
Jack Adams finalist 2010 and 2011. He is champion. A wrist shot doesn't make it through with the stick of Martin Ewack.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Barry Trotz has never won the Coach of the Year when you look at what he's done over the years here in Nashville. 7 of the last 8 years he's made the playoffs. Only supposed to do that in the NHL in the last 8 years, and twice now, both last two years they've gotten to the second round, so a real nice job by him.
And for David Legron, in his pro career, really the only coach and only GM he's ever had. David Poile and Barry Trotz. That's got to be rare. Ladislav Schmid cuts off Bork. Gets the puck to Petrie. Petrie under pressure there from Colin Wilson. Bork on the intercept in behind the net. Schmid battling with him. Wilson comes up with the puck. He'll play it back to the point. Weber waiting for it. Weak wrist shot. The backboard picked up by Wilson. And a nice feed by Bork. The puck is still alive. So he's down. He gets the whistle and keeps the puck out. By Bork, the puck is still alive. And keeps the puck out.
What a save by Picarini!
One of those situations where a goaltender, because he has to come up with such an acrobatic save, can't really recover, and he doesn't want to move. Wants to stay in that position. And for Nashville, good job down low once again. You can hear the grinding away, and this puck comes off the back wall, right out front, good high-quality chance. Great save by Denis. And then once he's down, he doesn't know where that puck is. He wants to stand his ground and stay strong. Good job by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to get back in there, and Ladislav Schmid to cover it up afterwards. But that first save was a big one by Denis.
Jones sends it around the boards. Weber's going to cut it off. 3:43 to go. Backhand slides right through.
Second period of the scoreless game. In Game 5, Oilers have led the series in the Western Finals 3-1.
Of the Edmonton netminder.
Gene.
Well, guys, just a reminder that the 2013 World Baseball Classic is underway. Canada will take on Mexico tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific, and lots of excitement about the Toronto Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Yankees taking on the Jays Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific.
3:33 to go in the second period. The shot saved the Predators. 19-15. The County was 13 last night in that first period. So down to just 6 shots in this period. And the guys have mentioned fewest shots in the league, lowest scoring team. Averaging just 1.96 goals per game coming into this one. They've got 3 here. Denis behind the net. Left it there for Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Justin. Belanger lost it to Gostad. Gostad to Steetson and Kuhn. They're up front, Klein and Bartlett. On the blue line for a Nashville Predators team that is sitting at 9, 9, and 5. The Oilers hitting the halfway point tonight. This time last year, Edmonton was 12, 10, and 2 after 24 games. At 9, Schultz to Gagne.
And 2 in the Stanley Cup postseason.
To get it there, fires over top of the net, gets by Magnus Bjarvi, picked up there by Bork. And he will outlet for Bartlett. For Bartlett sends that back in, Denis shoots it around the boards. Ryan Whitney gets away from Legron. Yakubov with some speed. Here comes Dale Yakubov with Gagne. Cuts to the middle, backhand toward the net. Great chance. Picarini stretched out. That's 6'5". Got both pads right across the goal line. Sharp angle shot line off for Sam Gagne. Yakubov throws a hit.
Well, Yakupov, a couple of real good shifts here in the second period. He's found his legs and skating, got a couple shots through, and that was there. The backhand had eyes that almost got through Rene, and when he skates and moves the puck like that, hard guy to handle. And I'm sure you might see him get a little bit more ice time throughout this game. Those young legs get him in action in the back-to-back situation.
Boychuk with it now. Zach Boychuk turns, throws it out in front. And then Fisher turned and flat. And then Fisher turned and flat. Fisher. And then Fisher turned and flat. And he dies.
Big blast from Weber, traffic in front, perfectly chanting, "Let's go Predators."
His last game was February the 13th. And Zach Boychuk gets his first point of the season. He has played in his 9th game, and he really makes his big first in a Nashville uniform. And for the second straight period, the Nashville Predators get a goal late in the period. 18:51, Lebron scored, and here 18:22. It is Zach Boychuk who makes it a 4-0 game. It is Zach Boychuk bumping right down. Now Smith trying to bank it in. He'll go after it. He was tied up by Ryan Smith.
Buzzing his track down. Hit the nail right in the head there. They smell blood. This is the type of game they haven't played for a while. They struggle to score goals. The big shot by Weber. Gets through it. Just all that action in front. Watch us drive wide by Smith as he tries to get the wraparound going, and the stick check by his old Wisconsin teammate Justin Schultz at the last second there.
Second heavy action in front of Denis. Second straight game that he's faced a Smith former teammate.
You're right. Brendan last night, he's right.
50 seconds left in the period. Bartley fires it around the boards. So Stevenson up against Peckham. Theo Peckham wins that puck battle, and he'll start away and give it to his D partner, Ryan Whitney. Quickly to Gagne. Gagne down the right side. Oh, what a save. Whitney plays it to the corner. Magnus Piarmi behind the net for Gagne. Gagne takes a look. He's got Whitney in front. Broken up by Godstaff, but there's Theo Peckham with a shot, and it rises over top of the net. Peckham behind the net. That's Piarmi to Yakupov. Turns, hard pass to the middle, on the skate. A good year for second Oilers all over. The Nashville Predators out in front in front. Tipped away deeply. Series hold. Second period comes to an end. 2 periods in the books. 2 goals for Nashville in the first period. 2 goals for Nashville. Edmonton Oilers is for conference champions for the second year in a row.
The front of the league, that's tough against.
The first period is 0 to score. In the second period after the Oilers in 47 minutes.
The front of the league, that's tough against the Predators heading to the third period. Coming up later on Sportsnet West after it's him in the new contract.
It's an alternative. And there, look at that. There you see it right there. It's pretty difficult to cut. So that's good news. The Edmonton Oilers, in fact, about 8 of them are using them this evening. Now, one of them is Eric Malonzo. They want to see if it's something that can keep them safer. But you know, hockey players can be a bit superstitious about what they wear. We'll see if the Oilers continue to wear them. Louis and Kevin.
All right, Gene, and Louis, you wonder if that starts to become a mandatory thing once the technology
Western Conference champions
allows it.
They're 1-4 straight to the series.
Guys don't even think about it. Positive out of this one. Down trying to build some momentum. Change my mind. Get something positive out of this one. Down 4-0 straight to the. You see last week jumping right up into the play. Sam Gagne trying to keep that puck in at the blue line. Does a good job of that.
trip in Colorado on Tuesday. Those two teams meeting tonight in Denver.
Friday. Jordan Everly against Shea Weber. 2-day break. Everly back to the point. Whitney with it now. Throws it through traffic. And that one gets deflected wide. Hall was in front. Boychuk outlets to Weber. Shea Weber takes a look. Fires it around the boards. Waiting for it there, Erad. He'll let it go for Boychuk. Throws it towards the net. Here's Hughes stepping into a shot that he's a save. Hall picks it up and starts away. Everly flips that puck in. On the near side, it's cleared by Erad. Right up to Mike Fisher. Fisher goes cross ice, and there is good cross ice, and here is Fisher, and there's the win. There's the deny. By Denis on in relief. Well, Devin Dubnyk gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in the first period. And Ralph Kruger just sent something, Louis, and that second goal by Legwand, it was not Devin Dubnyk's night.
Yeah, I think it was the right call, you know, obviously for Devin Dubnyk. Played a lot of hockey. Big hit there, and the boards opened up as Peckham comes in and catches Gabriel Quirk with a good shot there. But for Denis, he's letting the second shot that he faced in that second period, a couple shots were whacked at him from Clune. He put one by him, but other than that, he's been pretty darn solid. The goals have gone by him. The fourth one wasn't one that you would say he would have. It was a high deflection. So he's played pretty well. But for Nashville, they've just done a great job of continuing to get pucks in deep and shots for that. Very good job boxing out Edmonton in the defensive zone. It's like a one-and-done attack in the offensive zone for Edmonton.
Oilers outshot the Nashville Predators in that second period, 10-8. They trailed 23-19.
Yeah, they actually outshot Nashville that second period, 10-8. So, I mean, it was that type of a period. But again, a lot of those shots from the perimeter for Edmonton, and that's something that Nashville wants to try and maintain, is keeping things to the outside, and those clearing attempts have been pretty solid tonight. Shea Weber's been real strong in the defensive zone, going head-to-head with the Nugent-Hopkins line, and they're not giving them a whole lot of time in the offensive zone.
Energy line out there now. Ryan Smith moving in, snaps a shot, and then Beckery makes the save, and he'll hang on.
This perfectly preserved uniform came to us via a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Get your game on with Pools.
Theo Beck has been a physical presence for Edmonton. He's got involved with a couple of players out there. Here he catches Gabriel Quirk on the right-hand side, and the penalty box explodes open after he finishes that check. So good to see Beck back after missing the last couple. A little bit of food poisoning, as Gene was talking about earlier, and playing his physical self.
That involved with the Oilers have a broken in 21 game.
We went down.
Speaking of going down, so he's going to 2012 of Schultz, and then Clune cross-check Schultz. The Oilers still looking for their first power play opportunity in the last couple of games.
So they're Stanley Cup champion. Stanley Cup
Conference champion. Cross-check by Clune, but it certainly was enough to knock a player down. And it was Justin Schultz that was in there on the forecheck as a defenseman.
Tossed that in front against Justin Schultz. The puck comes free for Gagne. Sam Gagne gets the blue line, flips it in. He's going to peel off on a chance. You know, the Oilers came into this game without a power play goal in their last 4 games, but they only got 7 chances in 4 games coming in. Boychuk plays around behind the net.
Taking on a team that
Down 4-0. You can see Ladislav Speed jumping right into the front. Sam Gagne at the blue line.
Get other NHL teams to win. At the bottom.
Play opportunity. Sam Gagne gets the blue line, flips it in. He's going to peel off on a change. You know, the Oilers came into this game without a power play goal in their last 4 games, but they only got 7 chances in 4 games coming in. Wojciech plays it around behind the net. Now he'll go after it against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Eberle sees it go by him. Little help from Theo Peckham to Hall. And Hall bangs that puck out to center. Close checking. Now as Fisher goes after it against Schultz.
Fisher, he's right.
Fisher.
Oh, what a save by Pecorino again.
Now to the other side it goes. Wojciech 34 there. He's got Gabriel Bourne out in front.
Oilers just trying to find that line look. The start of our looking Wojciech.
Goes. Wojciech 34 there. He's got Gabriel Bourne out in front. That's Colin Wilson. Wilson right into the net. Wilson running. That's Colin Wilson. Wilson right into the net. Wilson trying to jam it in. In this game. Smith trying to work his way to the middle. He is cut up there by Jones. Petrell trying to split the defense. Gets some help from Ryan Smith. Up comes the Eli. Gets it out. Ryan Whitney gets possession, gives it right to Brown. Whitney takes a look. The Oilers want to make a change. 14:20 left to go in the third period. Eager going after it. Ben Eager playing in his 400th National Hockey League game tonight. Wilson against Whitney. His 400th National Hockey League game tonight. For the Predators. Oilers hockey. Kevin Klein goes cross ice. Getting into a shot there. Oh, it's Victor Buckley. And it gets deflected up into the net.
2-0 game here. On game 5 in the Stanley Cup Western Conference final.
Oilers hockey.
It is Oilers lead of 3 games to 1 for the Oilers.
Oilers hockey.
Western Conference victory for the second year in a row.
It's time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia, presented by TELUS. Enter the chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. Which Oilers number is not retired in the Raptors? 11, 17, 33, or 99? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
13:25 to go here in the third period.
Game still tied at 0.
Almost shuffled here by Doug Figure as well. Definitely see Peckham out there with Schultz mixing and matching some things here late in this game. Trying to shuffle things up, see how things go.
Jakubov centers it. Gagne and Biardi together. Here's Theo Peckham.
Peckham and Dahlstad had words before that faceoff was dropped. So they're coming back and make the play.
Really makes the save, and Dean might open down the
Thank you, Kevin.
Oh, what a
Future Sportsnet telecast. Thank you, Kevin. Shop and swipe your Cup card at Safeway today and watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, courtesy of redtag.ca. Shop and swipe your Cup card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner.
Edmonton Oilers will spend the night here in Music City.
For the giveaway to the Stanley Cup Western Conference final.
Wrap it up Tuesday, second Colorado.
Last night is game 5 in 2012.
Second game back after this road trip victory in Edmonton. Exact a little revenge against this Nashville team.
Including playing for the next 18 games, so we'll see enough of each other to not like each other.
Speed down low, trying to center it, didn't work. Wojciech gets it out. March 17th in Edmonton. March 25th will be Rick. Wojciech gets it out. March 17th in Edmonton. March 25th will be Rick back here.
16th in game 7, if necessary.
Edmonton up there back flying. The puck comes around the boards. The Oilers trying to make a change. The puck squirted free off the stick of Justin Schultz. Comes to Hall. Taylor Hall. Down the left side.
They'll drop it all the way back. They went by Justin Schultz. And the Oilers reboot. Harris keeps it in. He'll get it to leg one. David Legwand from the corner. Quick shot by Bork goes wide. Ellis takes a hit from Petrell. Now he gets a steal. And a backhand shot, and that one doesn't make it through. Wilson all over it, takes a hit from Petrell. Legwand put it out in front, trying to get it to Bork, but Whitney was there on the intercept, and then Bork returned the favor and shot it back in to allow Nashville to make a change.
Good reload there by Bork. It's really quickly back on the defensive side of things, and that one kind of just luckily hits him and escapes it because he gets back hard. He's in the right position. That line's been really good. Legwand, Wilson, and Bork tonight for Nashville, just really solid on the cycle down low, strong on the walls, and very good defensively. And Colin Wilson, as we mentioned, having a three-point night already. Terrific night for him.
Pecorino lays it off the boards, and a quick out for the Nashville Predators, and this is Irak. Craig Smith, even up there by Theo Putnam. Bouncing puck in the high slot, and Van Eager picks it up. Eager lays it off the boards, looking for Brown. Too far for him. The rubber bounces it out. Swede to Smith. Ryan Smith playing in his 47th game against the Nashville Predators. He has picked up 39 points. And nobody has gotten a puck by Pecorino. 3 shutouts on the season for him. All 3 shutouts have come here in Nashville.
Cheers for the home team from the home team.
Come here in Nashville.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Well, every team wants to be that team that gives Chicago its first regulation loss of the season. Right now, the Hawks are losing to the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-1. Now, either way, the two teams will meet again for a second time on this road trip Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And don't forget, after we're done here, Roger Williams, Charlie Simmer, and Rob Kay will be hard at work as the Calgary Flames will take on the Anaheim Ducks.
No matter what happens in Colorado, nobody, Louis, has beaten Chicago in regulation at the United Center. So the Oilers will get a crack at that on Sunday. Look at you, looking at that. Tomorrow or Saturday, either way. Jeez.
The Stanley Cup final will be scheduled next week.
Whitney with it now. Crosses the blue line, takes a left, feathers a pass to the middle. Picked up by Gagne. Gagne takes a shot, and that one goes over top of the net. Yakupov got it down. Nail Yakupov. Magnus Piarvi. Piarvi to Whitney at the point. Whitney under pressure there from Klein. Bork at center. Gets it to Legwand. David Legwand moves to the middle. Legwand still has it. Puts it back, and there it is. Bork looking for it. Hanna on the far side. The near side, Ellis pitching in. Gagne gets there first. Bork with a quick stick. Keeps it in temporarily, and now an opportunity for Everly. Everly one-on-one against him. Sends it behind the net. Carolina with there. Taylor Hall bearing down on it. They'll give it to Mike Fisher. Quickly up for Irak. And that'll go back to Fisher. A couple of points for number 12. It's a pretty famous wife, I understand. Schultz. Nick Schultz. Lost it. Boychuk gives it to Irak. Gets it back again. Trying to get a shot away. And pays the price as Nick Schultz takes him down for the biggest hit of the night. For the Edmonton Oilers. Yep. Hall. 1-on-2. Brings it across the line. Still has it. Taylor Hall. Right to Nugent Hopkins. And a sharp angle. And ridding of the save. Nick Schultz. With a big hit. We'll take a break. Play. Outstanding result is brought to you by big hit. We'll take a break. It's game 5. With a big hit. Scoreless. Depth of agents.
Well, it's going to be the last goal of the Nashville Predators have scored. It's been Colin Wilson, 3 points on the night now with this goal. And what a nice individual effort by him as he does a little button hook, gets to the net, just drives it home. Not always pretty, but he was looking for a pass, couldn't find one, so he said, I'm taking this one to the post myself, and it rewards him with a goal.
And 3 points on the night so far.
18 points on the season. 12 of those points have come here at home. Petrell. Come here at home. Petrell. Fires that puck in. No time. Right. Sometimes the complexion of a game changes when you get a shorthanded goal. The Oilers have 3 this year. Jones hops the pass over the stick of Petrell. Sent in by Bork. Picked up by Justin Schultz. He's up there now with Ladislav Schmid as Legwand brings it in from Boychuk, trying to get it back to him. Wilson to Boychuk. And he was knocked down by Schmid in behind the net, and Ben Eager comes away. Eager trying to chip it in, but broken up by Klein, and it's offside at the Nashville blue line. Ben Eager trying to get that puck in deep and establish a forecheck, and it's been a chore all night long for Edmonton, and you really have to hand it to Nashville tonight. They knew they had a team coming in here that played last night in Detroit, came in here late last night. They had the second game in 2 nights. They've had the rest, and they've been the better team here with the more energy, and they've played the right way, getting pucks in deep, making it a tough night for Edmonton. It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one, and have continued it throughout this game, making it a tough night for Edmonton. It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one, and have pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this away. Eager trying to chip it in. Broken up by Klein, and it's offside at the Nashville blue line.
Not doing as much in there. Relaxed, economy of movement, found that traffic in a big save.
Got 33 and 34 in that shootout against Pittsburgh in the whole.
Sniff around for a loose puck. This is that patented Sedin shot pass, though, into the slot area. Set it up. First tip, 2 good saves in tight, and then talk about pay a toll. Trying to take the eyes away from the goaltender, Dubnyk. Stayed with it, couldn't get the bounce, and anarchy ensued on the outskirts of that. He's had a lot of chances, Adam Burrows.
It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out. Pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one.
Down near the net. And just like that, although the Oilers had a hefty start, they find themselves down with a power play goal.
Towards the first.
Shallow from 25 feet out, and no chance for Devin Dubnyk. 1-0 Vancouver. Out, and no chance for Devin Dubnyk. 1-0 Vancouver.
Deep, making it a tough night for Edmonton.
This is just
easy treading, getting pucks out,
face-off loss, and the Oilers haven't been able to
they got to Devin Dubnyk early in the second game in 2 nights. They've had in Detroit, came in here late last night. They had the second game in 2 nights. They've had the rest, and they've been the better team here with the more energy. In the second game in 2 nights, they've had the rest, and they've been the better team here with the more energy, and they've played the right way, getting pucks in deep, making it a tough night for Edmonton. It hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in again. Pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one, and have continued to throughout this game. Now up 5-0. Edmonton, it hasn't been easy treading, getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They got to Devin Dubnyk early in this one, and have continued it throughout this game. Now up 5-0 with just over 7 minutes left in the game. Regained streak for Nashville, and saw them score just 3 goals. Outscored 12-20. They've got 5 here. 6:50 to go in the third period.
The third period. 0-0 to score line.
Throws it towards the net. The whistle wide. Yakupov on the far side with Magnus Bjarmi. Magnus Bjarmi and Yakupov. Dale Yakupov. Whitney the trailer with a shot. Ready to save. Dale Yakupov. Whitney the trailer with a shot. Ready to save. Oh, defenseman coming down low is Nick Schultz's turn. But a great chance for Whitney.
Like to see Whitney jumping up there. Real nice pass by Yakupov as he gets it wide, finds Whitney late, gives redirection right on the puck.
Unable to keep it in at the point. Emily and Cole, the forward line now. Mike Fisher. Against Everett. Jordan Everett to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins across the blue line. Hopkins gets it to Hall. Back to the point it comes. Goes wide. Boyd, it's Petrie, shot again. Petrie couldn't keep it in at the blue line. He's got that. He's got a chip and chase it against Weber. Oilers make a change now. In the possession of the Nashville Predators. Chips it in. Pays the price as Petrie takes him into the boards.
Good finish there by Petrie. Butler had a real head of steam there. Was looking to go wide and chip in charge. And Petrie just stopped in his track.
Jones sweeps it in. Maybe stops it behind the net, takes his time, fires it around the glass, trying to get it by Belanger. Picked up there by Boychuk. Now to Ryan Ellis. Ryan Ellis. Pass intended for Butler didn't work, but it does come to Smith. To Smith trying to gain the zone. Penalty coming up to the Edmonton Oilers. Van Eager going to go over and touch it. And that will get the whistle, and that will get the fourth power play for the Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for his third goal of the season.
The Edmonton Oilers have a small number of executive suites available for rent during the 2013 season. Rexall Place rental suites are located on 2 levels, providing privacy and comfort for groups of 12 to 36.
The Predators when we come back. Ryan Whitney looking for his third goal of the season of the Stanley Cup Western Final.
The Edmonton Oilers have a small number of executive suites available for rent during the 2013 season. Rexall Place rental suites are located on 2 levels, providing privacy and comfort for groups of 12 to 36. Enjoy each thrilling moment of fast-paced Edmonton hockey while entertaining business partners, employers, or friends, or all of the above. For more information, call 780-409-5897 or email Bob Haramy, bob.h@edmontonoilers.com.
Ryan Jones in the penalty box. 2 minutes for elbowing. Fourth power play for the Nashville Predators. First power play of this period. The Oilers still don't have one.
For finishing a check, not an elbow.
Generated 5 shots. The power play did not get a shot the last time they had the power play. Here's Colin Wilson with a shot here. Smith lets it go. Steered aside by Denis. Wilson with it again. 3-point night for him as it comes back to Kostitsin at the point. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson moves to the middle. Wilson still has it. Dishes off. Bar. Weber let it go. Kostitsin again. Sergei Kostitsin now to Weber. Weber being watched by Belanger, who's out there with Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Weber with it. Weber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Scores. What a night for Colin Wilson. Brown, Peckham, and Nick Schultz. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Weber with it. Weber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. Craig Smith from the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the point. Weber with it. Weber dishes off. Wilson with a wrist shot. From the corner. Stopped by Peckham. Peckham goes down. The puck comes back to the control. Griffin shortstop. The second power play goal for the Nashville Predators in this game. They started the scoring with a power play goal by Patrick Hornfist, who is out of the game after a hit. By Theo Beck, a great save there by Denis off Bobby Butler. 3 minutes left to go in the game.
in the game. Still scoreless in game 5.
16:39, the time of power play goals. 9 power play goals at home. And Nashville as Boychuk let it go. Off the crossbar and into the net. The Nashville Weber with 3 points on the night. Petrie throws it 1 assist to Everett. The New York Knicks. Weber just 1 assist and Craig Smith gets coming into this one. Smith with Brown and Eager. The energy line for the Edmonton Oilers trying to generate some kind of energy here in the last couple of minutes of this hockey game before they head to Chicago. Colin Wilson against Nick Schultz. Colin Wilson, 4 points on the night. 2 straight goals here in this third period, 1 on the power play. Theo Peck waits for the Oilers to make a change. Justin Schultz takes a look. Pass for Petrell, broken up by Weber. And we got an offside. You mentioned Colin Wilson there, Kevin, and I had a chance to be a teammate for a very short period of time with his dad, Kerry, in New York. He was drafted by the Rangers, and much like Colin in the fact that he was a real solid individual, a scorer, an offensive-minded player, but a strong guy to boot, and Colin's no different. You watch him tonight, and he's just has been a force down low, has been real physical along the walls, and has finished a couple real nice plays off, that's for sure. Back comes the middle. 1 minute. Less than a minute to go in this one. Whitney to Jones. Going after it. And Jones, a couple of opportunities early in this game. He gets one here. Can't get the shot away against Fisher. 38 seconds left in this one. And the Nashville Predators come into this game 11th in the West with just 4 wins at home. They were 4-7-2. We'll see their record and 2. 21 seconds to go. Quickly to get. Here's Yakupov. Yakupov here's the seconds with 8 seconds to go. Yakupov shoots. Oh, and he had to make the save. He denies it and stays out to force overtime. The Predators will force overtime in game 5. It comes to an end. Will be the end of the 60 minutes of hockey. 2 periods in the books. 2 goals for Nashville in the first period. 2 goals for Nashville in the second period. Oilers are 4-0 in overtime. 2 goals for Nashville in the first. The Predators. 2 periods and 1 in overtime. 2 goals for Nashville in the first period. 2 goals for Nashville. Periods in the books. 2 goals for Nashville in the first period. 2 goals for Nashville in the second period. Overtime coming up next. We have Sportsnet Central.
Indeed, Kevin, and that adds up to a 4-0 lead. That's tough against the Predators heading to the third period. Coming up later on Sportsnet West after this one, it's the Flames and the Ducks, a new multi-millionaire in Ryan Getz.
Helmet, this is part of your safety. To be comfortable, continue to wear them, Louie and Kevin. All right, Gene and Louie, you wonder if time starts to become a mandatory thing once the technology.
Let's go Predators, Chad.
To be comfortable is meant to keep that Colorado on Tuesday. He win it now, throws teams. Again, to keep that puck in at the jumping right. Will be in Chicago on Sunday. Finish up this road trip in Colorado on Tuesday. Those 2 teams meeting tonight in Denver. Jordan Everett against Shea Weber. Everly back to the point. Whitney with it now. Throws it through Cheka. And that one gets deflected wide. Hall was in front. Boychuk outlets to Weber. Shea Weber takes a look. Fires it around the boards. Waiting for it there. Erod. He'll let it go. But Boychuk throws it towards the net. Here's Husey stepping into a shot that he to save. Hall picks it up and starts away. Everly flips that puck in. On the other side, it's cleared by Erod. Right up to Mike Fisher. Fisher goes cross ice, and there it goes. He shot. Steered aside by Denis. Denis on in relief. Kevin Dubnik. He gave up 2 goals on 13 shots in the first period. And Ralph Kruger just sent something, Louis, and that second goal by Legua, it was not Kevin Dubnik's night.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. You know, obviously for Devin Dubnik's played a lot of hockey. Big hit there. The boards opened up for Peckham. Comes in and catches Gabriel Broken. A good shot there. But for Denis, I think the second shot that he faced in that second period, a couple shots were whacked down from Quinn. He put one by there, and now he's been pretty darn solid. The goals were gone by him. The fourth one wasn't one that you would say he would have as a high deflection. So he's played pretty well. But for Nashville, they've just done a great job of continuing to get pucks in deep, big shots from the net. Very good job boxing out Edmonton's defensive zone. It's like a one-and-done attack in the offensive zone for Edmonton tonight.
Oilers outshot the Nashville Predators in that second period, 10-8. They trail 23-19.
Yeah, they actually outshot Nashville in that second period, 10-8. So, I mean, it was that type of a period. But again, a lot of those shots from the perimeter for Edmonton, and that's something that Nashville wants to try and maintain, is keeping things to the outside, and those fairings have been pretty solid tonight. Shea Weber's been real strong with the defensive zone going head-to-head with the Nugent Hopkins line, and they're not giving them a whole lot. By the Rangers, and much like just has been a force down to go in this one.
There's 1 minute early in this overtime. Here's Jun11.
Rightfully so, and I'll tell you what, you talk about a 60-minute effort. I mean, they're only 6 seconds away from a 60-minute effort for Nashville Predators, but they have not relented in this game. And that last shift there, you saw Boychuk go in aggressively, get a chance to you.
Here's Mike Fisher. He shoots. He scores. Mike Fisher, the overtime hero. And Nashville Predators trail the series at 3-2. Fans, they are going wild.
Dallas Oilers hockey on
Their 5th and their Predators straight loss. So the dish
Four-game losing streak,
and they have won their 10th playoff game.
And Nashville snaps a
Oilers
losing
cutting
streak
the
by
series
handing the
lead
Edmonton Oilers
and won it 1-0.
4-game losing streak by handing the Edmonton Oilers their 5th straight loss.
Let's listen to the atmosphere.
Telus Oilers hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
Let's take a look at the three-star selection by Molson Canadian, who's brewed with the best this land has to offer.
Well, Rich Boone was involved in this game in more ways than one. A goal, 3 hits, a fight, and has to offer.
Let's take a look at the three-star selection.
This game in more ways than one. A goal, 3 hits, a fight, and a real effective night. As you mentioned, 4th shutout of the season for him. Not a real busy one, but certainly a shutout. Colin Wilson, the best player on the ice tonight. 2 goals, 2 assists. Great defensively and a physical force. He's your first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the hunt.
The floor's easier first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the
physical floor's easier first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more
great defensively and a physical force. Easier first step.
Stay
the Predators 2 goals, 2 assists. Great defensively and a physical force. Easier first step.
Stay right.
2 goals, 2 assists. Great defensively and a physical force. Easier first step.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you.
We'll get there as physical victory.
Stay right where
goals, 2 assists.
The Western Conference champion.
Stay right where you are because we've got more hockey for you. We're going to the Honda Center, the Calgary Flames, and the Anaheim Ducks. Let's go there.
Let's go.
Calgary Flames and the Anaheim Ducks.
Let's go there right now. 1-0.